Imagine a love story so iconic that even after decades, it still makes your heart race. A story that redefined romance and showed the world that love can transform lives. Now, picture that story returning, but in a way you've never seen before. Gere and Julia Roberts are back, and the magic is stronger than ever. The world is buzzing with excitement. And fans everywhere are asking, can this legendary romance capture hearts again in today's world? This is not just a sequel. This is a chance to relive the timeless story, to see familiar faces in a fresh setting, and to experience the emotions that made Pretty Woman unforgettable all over again. 30 years have passed since the world first fell in love with Vivian and Edward, two characters whose story was about more than romance. It was about transformation, hope, and the magic of unexpected love. Back in 1990, audiences watched as a simple encounter on the streets of Los Angeles blossomed into an extraordinary journey. Vivian, a spirited and independent woman with a heart full of dreams, met Edward, a wealthy businessman trapped in a life of routines and expectations. Their worlds couldn't have been more different, yet their connection was instant and undeniable. That film became a cultural phenomenon because it wasn't just a story of wealth and glamour. It was a story of human connection, vulnerability, and the courage to embrace love when it seemed impossible. Now, decades later, the original actors return, and with them comes a sense of nostalgia mixed with fresh curiosity. The world has changed, and so have the characters, but the essence of their story remains the same. Fans are eager to see how these characters, once young and full of life, navigate the complexities of a modern world filled with new challenges and opportunities. The first trailer of Pretty Woman hints at this evolution. From the very first frame, it's clear that the charm and charisma of Gere and Julia Roberts are intact. The scenes suggest a reunion not only of two characters, but of an entire era of romance. There's a subtle yet powerful shift in tone, hinting that while the glamour and iconic moments remain, there's a deeper exploration of how love adapts to time, growth, and change. In these opening moments, viewers are reminded of why the original story captured hearts around the globe. The chemistry between the leads is palpable, and even without dialogue, the emotions are raw and authentic. You can feel the excitement, the tension, and the quiet tenderness in every glance and gesture. It's a delicate balance of old and new, nostalgia and innovation, and it immediately draws the audience into the world of Pretty Woman 2. The city backdrop, the stylish wardrobe, and the soft, warm lighting all serve to reinforce the romantic atmosphere, while also signaling that this is not a mere repetition of the original story. The trailer shows glimpses of Edward and Vivian navigating modern life, facing challenges that reflect today's realities, yet still holding onto the timeless values that made their stories so compelling. There's humor, heart, and moments of vulnerability that remind viewers of the journey that originally made them fall in love with these characters. In short, the first section of this story is about reconnection not just between Edward and Vivian, but between the audience and a beloved tale. It sets the tone for a narrative that is at once familiar and refreshing, promising an emotional experience that honors the original while exploring uncharted territory. The anticipation is undeniable as fans eagerly dissect each trailer frame, analyze every smile, every gesture, and speculate about the challenges the characters might face. This section establishes a strong foundation for the story ahead, reminding us all why this romance was and continues to be so unforgettable. It's a celebration of love that transcends time, and it invites both old fans and new viewers to immerse themselves in a world where anything is possible when hearts are open. As the story unfolds, it's clear that this is not merely a sequel, but a continuation of a legacy. A modern reflection of a timeless romance that once captivated the world and promises to do so again. And 20 to 6. The first trailer for Pretty Woman 2 immediately draws you in with a mix of glamour, charm, and subtle intrigue. From the opening seconds, it becomes clear that this is not just a simple continuation of a beloved story. It's a reimagining designed to capture both the nostalgia of longtime fans and the curiosity of a new generation. The trailer opens with sweeping shots of a modern cityscape, hinting at a fast-paced world that has evolved dramatically since the 1990s. Yet, in the midst of this bustling environment, the familiar warmth of Vivian's smile and Edward's quiet confidence immediately grounds the story in the classic romance audiences fell in love with decades ago. One of the first things that stands out is the effortless chemistry between Richard Gere and Julia Roberts. Even after all these years, there's an unmistakable spark. A magnetic energy that reminds viewers why the original film became so iconic. The trailer doesn't just rely on nostalgia, though it introduces new elements that give the sequel its own identity. We catch glimpses of modern lifestyles, technology, and the challenges of balancing love with career and personal growth, all woven seamlessly into the story. Fashion, always a critical element of Pretty Woman, returns with a contemporary twist. Vivian's wardrobe is as stunning as ever, but the styles reflect today's trends. Blending elegance with modernity, Edward, too, appears more relaxed yet still polished, hinting at a man who has grown comfortable in his own skin while maintaining the sophistication fans remember. Throughout the trailer, there are small, quiet moments that carry significant emotional weight. A shared glance across a crowded room, a hesitant touch of the hand, a soft smile that speaks volumes. These are the moments that remind the audience of the depth of their connection and the journey there. Why have shared? The trailer also teases tension and conflict, though it remains careful not to reveal too much. There are hints that both characters have changed in ways that might challenge their bond, introducing an element of unpredictability that makes viewers eager to see how the story unfolds. Music plays a crucial role in setting the tone. The background score of the trailer combines familiar romantic motifs with fresh, modern arrangements, creating a soundscape that feels both nostalgic and contemporary. It complements the visuals, perfectly enhancing the emotional impact of each scene. Another standout feature of the trailer is how it balances humor with emotion. Fans can catch subtle nods to the witty, light-hearted moments that made the original so beloved, alongside scenes that hint at deeper, more mature themes. This delicate interplay keeps the audience engaged and invested, reminding them that love is not only about grand gestures, but also about the small, everyday interactions that shape a relationship. By the end of the trailer, viewers are left with a strong sense of anticipation. There is excitement in seeing familiar faces in a fresh context, curiosity about the new challenges they will face, and a sense of comfort knowing that the magic that made the first film a cultural phenomenon is still very much alive. The trailer effectively sets up a narrative that is rich, emotional, and visually stunning, promising a film that will honor the original while boldly stepping into new territory. Every detail, from cinematography to wardrobe, music to dialogue, is carefully crafted to engage audiences, building hype while preserving the essence of what made Pretty Woman unforgettable. This section establishes that Pretty Woman 2 is more than a sequel, it's a cinematic experience designed to resonate across generations, blending classic romance with contemporary storytelling to create something both familiar and entirely new. Fans and newcomers alike are invited to immerse themselves in this modern love story, to experience the laughter, the tension, and the heartfelt moments that define the enduring appeal of Vivian and Edward's journey, making it clear that some romances are simply timeless. Pretty Woman 2 doesn't simply rely on nostalgia. It introduces a modern twist that sets it apart from the original. The story moves beyond the romantic fantasy of the early 90s and reflects the complexities of love in today's world. Vivian and Edward are no longer just the characters we remember, they are individuals shaped by time, experience, and the evolving world around them. The trailer hints at new challenges that test their bond, showing that love isn't just about magical gestures or grand transformations. It's about understanding, compromise, and the ability to grow together even when life gets complicated. One of the most striking elements is how the sequel incorporates contemporary themes without overshadowing the timeless romance at its core. Technology, modern career pressures, social dynamics, and even the influence of social media are subtly woven into the story, giving the audience a sense of realism and relatability. Vivian is no longer just the spirited woman who enters Edward's world. She is a confident, independent character navigating her own ambitions and desires while still being open to love. Edward, too, has evolved. The trailer suggests that he has become more reflective, perhaps more vulnerable, and yet he retains the elegance and charm that made him unforgettable. Their reunion is not merely about revisiting past memories, it's about discovering whether love can endure when both people have changed and grown. Fashion and lifestyle remain an essential part of the sequel, but they are presented with a contemporary edge. Everyday attire reflects a world where luxury and accessibility coexist, and where personal style is a statement of identity rather than simply a spectacle. The trailer also teases deeper emotional layers, showing that the story is about more than romance alone. Scenes hint at personal struggles, misunderstandings, and moments of vulnerability, suggesting that the characters are navigating life with greater emotional depth than ever before. This approach makes the story richer and more engaging, allowing audiences to connect with the characters on a personal level rather than just admiring their fairy tale romance. Humor, which was a hallmark of the original, is present but more nuanced. The trailer shows moments of witty banter, playful exchanges, and subtle comedic timing that feel authentic to the characters' evolved personalities. These moments provide levity and charm while balancing the emotional depth of the story. One of the most compelling aspects of the modern twist is the way it explores the idea of second chances, not just in love, but in life. The characters are older, wiser, and more aware of what they want and need. The narrative seems to suggest that love is not static, it grows, it adapts, and it must be nurtured over time. For fans of the original, this evolution is exciting because it allows them to see the characters in a new light, while for new audiences, it presents a story that is relevant and engaging for today's world. Music and cinematography play an important role in reinforcing this modern atmosphere. The trailer uses contemporary scoring alongside classic romantic cues to create a soundscape that feels both fresh and familiar. The visual storytelling emphasizes intimacy, subtle emotion, and the contrast between old memories and new experiences, reinforcing the idea that while time may change circumstances, the core of love remains universal. Overall, this section of the story emphasizes growth, change, and resilience. Pretty Woman 2 shows that love is not just a fairy tale, it is a living, evolving experience that can thrive in a modern setting. The trailer promises a narrative that respects the original's heart and charm while boldly exploring new dimensions, making it clear that this is a sequel with its own identity. Audiences are invited to witness a love story that honors the past, embraces the present, and looks forward to the possibilities of the future, proving that some romances are timeless, yet adaptable to the world around them. The story of Pretty Woman 2 takes a deeper emotional turn, moving beyond romance into a reflection on personal growth, choice, and the complexities of maintaining love over time. The trailer teases scenarios that hint at challenges both familiar and new, showing that Vivian and Edward's journey is not simply about rekindling old feelings, but navigating the realities of life in a modern world. It becomes clear that this sequel is more than a nostalgic reunion. It's a story that asks questions about change, compromise, and what it truly means to love someone when both people have evolved. One of the most compelling aspects is how the characters face external pressures alongside internal struggles. The trailer shows glimpses of high-stakes moments in their professional and social lives, suggesting that the demands of career, reputation, and personal ambitions could challenge their relationship. Vivian's confidence and independence are central to this narrative, illustrating that she is no longer someone solely defined by romance. She has her own dreams, her own challenges, and a life that requires balance. Edward, on the other hand, is portrayed as a man who has experienced life in a more introspective way. He carries the weight of his past decisions and the responsibility of his status, and the trailer hints that reconciling his own desires with those of Vivian will require emotional honesty, compromise, and courage. Conflict is not presented in a melodramatic way, but in a subtle, realistic manner. The trailer shows fleeting moments of tension, a thoughtful glance that signals doubt, a conversation that reveals unspoken worries, and a hesitation that reflects the fear of losing what they both hold dear. These moments create anticipation and make the audience care deeply about the character's journey. Humor and charm remain important tools in the narrative, softening tension and keeping the story accessible and relatable. The trailer includes light-hearted interactions, playful gestures, and gentle teasing that remind viewers of the connection and warmth that originally made these characters unforgettable. These moments act as emotional anchors, grounding the story even when heavier themes are introduced. Another dimension of the emotional stakes comes from the sense of time and change. Both Vivian and Edward have lived full lives since their original encounter, and the trailer suggests that their reunion is not only about love but also about reflection, forgiveness, and rediscovery. Questions loom: can past love endure when life has taken each of them on separate journeys? Can two people reconnect and find harmony after years apart? These questions add depth and intrigue, giving audiences more than a romantic story. They invite viewers to reflect on their own experiences, choices, and relationships visually. The trailer reinforces these stakes through careful cinematography. Close-ups capture fleeting expressions, cityscapes show the expansive world they inhabit, and lighting conveys mood shifts from warm, helpful tones to cooler, more contemplative shades. The combination of visual storytelling, music, and dialogue snippets creates an emotional rhythm that draws viewers into the characters' lives and makes every moment feel significant. Even without revealing major plot points, the trailer hints at surprises, new challenges, and opportunities for growth. There are fleeting glimpses of unexpected encounters, hints of tension with secondary characters, and subtle signs that the story will explore themes beyond romance, friendship, family, and the personal sacrifices that often accompany love. By the end of the trailer, viewers are left with a strong sense of anticipation. They feel invested in the outcome, eager to see how Vivian and Edward will navigate this new chapter. The narrative promises highs and lows, laughter and tears, and ultimately a story that honors the original while offering something fresh and meaningful. This section emphasizes that love is not static. It is tested, questioned, and strengthened over time. Pretty Woman 2 captures this beautifully, showing that romance, when combined with emotional growth and real-life challenges, becomes even more powerful. Fans are reminded that this is not merely a return to a beloved story but a journey into deeper, more mature territory, where every choice matters, every glance carries weight, and every moment could change the course of their lives. By focusing on these stakes, the film promises an emotional resonance that will keep audiences captivated from beginning to end, proving that some stories, when told with heart and honesty, never lose their magic. The excitement surrounding Pretty Woman 2 is palpable, and the first trailer has only intensified the anticipation. Social media platforms are buzzing with fans dissecting every frame, every smile, and every glance shared between Vivian and Edward. Comments flood in from longtime followers who grew up with the original film, expressing delight at seeing their favorite characters return, while younger viewers are curious about how this timeless story has been adapted to the modern era. The trailer cleverly balances nostalgia with innovation, giving fans familiar elements to celebrate while teasing fresh moments that promise surprises, laughter, and heartfelt emotion. Audiences are particularly captivated by the chemistry between Richard Gere and Julia Roberts, Even decades after their first iconic collaboration, the connection between the two leads remains magnetic. The trailer captures fleeting moments that speak volumes: quiet, tender gestures, playful teasing, and intimate exchanges that remind viewers why their romance resonated so deeply in the first place. Fans are commenting on these subtle details, noting that the sequel respects the essence of the original while also allowing the characters to grow and evolve. Anticipation is further heightened by the visual storytelling. The trailer showcases stunning locations, glamorous wardrobe choices, and cinematic lighting that elevates each scene, creating a world that is both aspirational and relatable. Viewers are drawn into this environment, imagining themselves walking alongside the characters, sharing in their joys, challenges, and romantic moments. Many fans have begun speculating about the plot based on trailer snippets. They notice hints of new conflicts, unexpected encounters, and evolving relationships, fueling discussions and theories online. This speculation creates a sense of community among audiences as they collectively wonder how the story will unfold, which plot twists will surprise them, and whether the enduring love between Vivian and Edward will prevail amidst the challenges of modern life. Music and sound design also play a key role in shaping audience reactions. The trailer's score blends classic romantic motifs with contemporary elements, evoking emotions that range from nostalgia to excitement. Each musical cue accentuates the tension, humor, or intimacy of a scene, ensuring that viewers remain emotionally engaged throughout the preview. The emotional buildup reaches a peak as the trailer hints at moments of reflection, personal growth, and the rediscovery of love. Audiences are not just watching a romance unfold, they are invited to reflect on their own experiences with change, relationships, and second chances.